large room. Okay, there we go. I'll leave this.
Go join in then. Oh, he's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I realized it actually opened a session instead of joining. It's a pretty cool damn room, eh? I was in here when he was first making it. And,
I
was
made
chatting to him.
a variation of this world for sleeping. It's very dimmed. This light actually gives off light. It's like a nighttime skybox outside.
Okay. Well, dude, welcome to take us there as well. Like, check it out. Like,
I imagine any fan of the anime would be enthused through the world.
Hell yeah, man. I guess this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, even a race in water like wave racing, but I don't know how it's gonna work. 100%. Like, I know Aegis Wolf has created a speedboat in Neos. I haven't tried it, but I saw him using it and it looks really, really cool.
I have to wonder where they got half the assets for this.
Just real quick. Make sure there's no.
It couldn't just have been mocked up in primitives after all.
Yes, someone told me.
It actually was.
Really?
Someone told me,
he
and
was
I
actually
can't remember.
pretty sure he was just copying things. Yeah, we're totally floating in space. Yeah.
You could have situated us in the void. Don't get me wrong, man. After my own
Don't
heart,
worry about it.
I am a little concerned for others.
Literally, dude.
Don't worry about
Don't open the window, whatever you do. My gosh, this is pretty cool. I really like this drawing. This wasn't here in the anime, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Really? I need to go check it out again. Oh,
Because
there's another
that's
here.
Legoshi's bed. Yeah, and there's one here too.
In that closet. I think this had clothes in it in the movie.
Hayden, you were mentioning a couple of additional details you wanted in, or not?
Mostly just like the reflections in the windows and
Hey,
mirrors
guys.
are on by default.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Texture work done in GIMP 2.10.14. Modeling done inside of Neos VR thanks to Parker, Lewis Snow, and Fancy Cat for helping with the mesh work. There we go.
Well, given you can make buttons, I'm sure it'll be done.
Dude, maybe
It's
one
just
day an
like a-
Evangelion world. 100%. I want that. Oh, sorry, chat. You don't see chat. There we go. And I'll just pop out chat again. There you go.
Bob,
Oh,
you are connection to
resets
the
it.
chatters. You must tell us.
Yeah. No, I
what you
read
were
it.
saying.
I read it out. Did you not hear me?
Oh, I thought that was your response.
No.
I did not understand it.
Evangelion. Have you not watched the anime?
No,
It's like
isn't
yeah. It's basically these
Isn't it-
kids that control giant robots essentially. Okay, I think
I'll
stomach
keep it in
stress
mind.
test because I mean like that's the closest one. Oof. This is one hectic stomach stress test. I saw this world when
whoa.
yeah, it's a bit hectic on the eyeballs, so
I instantly regret
Yeah,
this
no shit.
decision.
stomach stress test, my dude. I was in there when Sid was first creating it. It is super trippy, and I could only imagine if you ate a few biscuits, how this would feel.
It is a fairly intense world.
It is, eh?
Assets to load. So far they've got the functionality and in the looks it appears, but optimization may have to come next. Of note, you can see a number of jump pads around the world, and they actually are functional. They'll kick you across if you're in walk mode.
Yeah, I just went into the standard avatar to help with lag a bit. Oh. Whoa. FPS killer, dude. This world is definitely FPS killer at the moment. Looks bloody good though, and I think that's one of the drawbacks. But I have noticed I've gone into the the route when I was here alone. Nothing's really organized at the moment, so I doubt anything's baked. So I think optimization.
Patch will have to come next.
Yeah, for sure. It's a beautiful world though. Like it looks stunning. Where's the jump pad? I believe there's a jump pad down here somewhere. Yeah, it's over there. So let's go into walk mode. Oh shoot. Fell through the earth. There we go. Oops. Where do we go? Like landed inside the structure. Look a little like Doom Eternal. Like actually, this level does. When you're in the ship on, I think on Phobos. You're on the base in Phobos, I think. On the, I'm not entirely certain.
Aptly named Halo meets Destiny, taking both the assets and influence from both.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see a wee little bit of those same influences inside of Doom Eternal, so it makes sense that it all kind of feels the same.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Modern Loft by Small Cookie, it's not on the list that I was going to check, but the reason why I'm checking this is because, my dude, you need to go and have a look at some of these models that he's been working on. They are absolutely insane.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I think we may have lost Hayden from all the jumps.
Yeah, no, he just sent me a message now. He's going to go to bed.
Fair.
What is this? Light source? We can turn on and off all these things. Dude, confirm how awesome this place is. Like it's such a neat. Yeah.
I think so.
It's such a neat little
lovely
place.
design. I do love the selection of worlds you picked here, and that it's really showcasing the diversity of worlds that people built in here. I mean, I know that's always the case whenever you get a creative platform like Ares Mod or VR Chat, but Neos has really brought out some neat people when it comes to building out worlds and stamping their personality on them.
Exactly, and I think Small definitely has the modern aspect of things under wraps. I mean,
I think so.
Yeah. I really like the little.
Terminology. I'm just gonna look at it and be like, oh, it's a minimalist architecture design, very lovely, quite astute in the other big words, yes, but it does look quite well. I like it. It
See,
appeals.
Your voice makes it sound super, super intelligent. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it looks really good. Modern aspect, really love it, and I love these stairs. These stairs are super, super cool. Everything that he does like complements. It's like each other.
I have to imagine that we're going to start seeing design like this take off inside of VR, where we're building worlds not just to mimic the way that they would be constructed in real life, but to have a degree of functionality in VR.
Exactly.
Let's bounce over there so we can look over here. Like, I just want to frame the whole thing, because you're on smooth POVs, they're looking through your eyes.
Yeah.
If you look here at this whole world, you can see that we have the playlist in here as a sort of functional center where people are going to go in and have little tiny arguments about what music is going to be played, and then at least a couple of distinct social centers where people can group up and use the whisper bubble system we have in Neos to have private conversations if need be. It looks like this for the viewers.
So now, while he's in there, we can't hear him, but he can talk to whoever joins into that whisper bubble, if you are unaware. And that's...
So you can understand why they have spaces about yay big in order to split up where conversations might be happening within a larger, more open space for the broader conversation.
Exactly. Because everyone can have their own little like click where they can go and just talk, socialize with the little group of people. You know what to say. Two's a group and three's a crowd.
And Smalls managed to merge this modern aesthetic I can barely describe with a very high degree of functionality when it comes to like a VR social world.
Exactly. I love that. I love it when people build worlds with functionality in mind. So like it could be a room in real life and you could function, and that's cool.
But
Um,
it's sort of a lovely, uniquely VR thing where you're like, do we have a kitchen? Well, no, we can't eat in VR. That'd be absurd. So we have a music playlist room. That's what we want.
exactly. Okay, you can't see chat, and if I detach it, it's gonna like disappear with all the chat. Okay,
I know.
going back to space, the space art by Heaven,
Mm-hmm.
it changes up depending on the sound. I'm assuming he's talking about the flashing of the stuff, kind of like how my
Yes.
lights, how my headset pulsates right now because I'm on the stock avatar. Yes, it does. It pulsates depending on the level of sound, and which I see a lot of people doing, and it looks so much better. Like, yeah, perfect example right here. I can turn on that. That is the ambient lighting. Now, whatever is displayed on that thing, I can actually turn off the lights. If I hear directional lights, turn everything off. Okay. Did it turn everything off? No, it didn't. I don't know. But you can see like flashing coming from the TV. That is basically what happens in that world, but this has just been put into player. Now, I utilize a lot of Small's stuff, which is why I like talking about Small stuff, because Small makes really good shit, and I utilize a lot of his furnishings to put in my worlds, because they are tops. And if you ever want to get one of his public folder is here. That's with everything in it. So do yourself a favor, if you are in game, go get that. Exactly. Hey man, come on, put some clothing on, man. But Heaven also says a good place to chill, and he's I think he's talking about this world, because this is that comment came through when we were in this world. This world, 100%. And what I like about Small Cookie's worlds, he makes his worlds so people can go into them, they can do whatever they want to them, and save them as their own. And that's what I've done with one of Small Cookie's worlds. Yeah, I do.
I was just agreeing. Yes, it certainly seems like a good way to build things out, and he's done some fabulous work.
Yeah. Like his London studio, I've turned into my, actually quite a while, I turned into my own little gathering place for people just to come chill. And I often watched Daily Dose of Internet in there, and a whole bunch of people would join. So it's really cool that people like Small make worlds where people can come in and make it their own. And that is cool.
Not to downplay the other creators inside of the community, we have some phenomenal pillars out here, to the point that listing them off would only make us feel bad for the ones we'd miss. But Coffee, of course, hosts, so he's going to show off droves of things he produces on a near weekly basis. But there's a number of other big names, I think maybe like Gearbell and Probable Prime, always making new worlds, new game worlds, and interesting creations to go through, and always opening them up to the public so we can wander through. And
for sure, it's kind of why I didn't want to mention any names in the beginning. No. It's fine. I broke my own rule coming here and mentioning Small Cookies. So, but with the creator token. That's going to be supporting creators putting lots of time and effort into Neos, and that is majorly important. So people feel very valued.
To bring up concerning the tokens, of course, and I think perhaps the most important part of it is it's not just an application process where you say, I've created a bunch, I've done a bunch, I'd like to apply and get it. Because people are humble. Disastrously humble, especially if they're good at what they do. They tend to be terribly humble. It's a horrible trait. So many of them. No, we can apply to nominate someone else. So those creators that are doing phenomenal work but a little bit too humble to actually apply on their own, we can nominate them and say, those people have been pillars of our community and really, really helped out. We'd like to see them get some recognition.
I will say outright, I've applied for that, and in my application, I have mentioned a lot of names of people who really, really do deserve props, because there are a lot of creators in Neos that stay quiet. They do a shit ton of things, and they stay quiet. They don't really go out for the glory, which I think especially those people, need props and be well done. You keep doing what you're doing, because everyone notices. So please continue.
Really. It's a good idea, just to hand out a little bit of recognition from the community to the community, from the devs to the community. I think 100%. It'll really help encourage things and help build things going forward.
Okay, Heaven said now, what the maximum of people you can have there without starting to lose FPS or crashes depends how optimized the world is. If the world is really optimized, you can have maybe 10, 12 people in like avatars with like 30 to 40 FPS in like a really well optimized world.
Yeah, there's just the three big variables, of course, what you're dealing
Yeah.
with is how strong is your machine, how many people do you have there, and how optimized is the world. And you can kind of move all of those different levers and watch them affect each other. If you have a monstrous machine, which I understand isn't reasonable for everyone, I'd say you can get up to 15 people inside of a middling, decent, optimized world and still pull 30 plus FPS. Maybe even high as 40, 45. But you need a pretty beefy machine for that. You're going to otherwise almost always see some FPS drop when you get into the double digits of people present, regardless of what world you're in. Neo still needs to run through a couple of optimization phases, of course. But when you're in those more like this, small, optimized, well-designed worlds, you can get away with quite a few players and still maintain frames on even more modest machines.
Another thing to mention as well, on top of all of that, is also depends on how optimized their avatar is. If the avatar has a lot of polys, it's going to slow down the game. So if everyone in the world has, say, like avatar with 70k polys, that makes a huge difference as well. So, yeah.
And of course, Neos gives us the ability to bake in-game scripting into our avatars. And while Logic's, that scripting process, is very efficient, eventually if you add enough, I'm sure that begins to have a strain unto itself. There's just only so efficient you can make things before a large quantity of it eventually has some strain on other people's machines.
Yeah, and then Heaven says that, and maybe the use of logics, 100%. I think?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, exactly what Again, there's a couple of things we're probably looking at. The sheer size of the assets you're bringing down, such as if you're putting any sound files into your avatars, as some people do, then the polys you're looking at for the actual things you're running, whatever models you've decided to use. And then, of course, that last one would be, yes, logics, scripting.
Yeah.
What fancy things does your avatar do?
Does it
sensible
smile?
and considerate for other people across all of those fields. This is probably good when building your new avatar or any kind of new avatar. Of course, we see in Neos there are a number of people that do as you do right now, have clipped back to a more basic avatar when they want those more high performance settings, or when they expect to be surrounded by a lot of other players.
Yeah, so like right now I'm in the stock standard Neos avatar, and the way you do that is just basically unfavorite your avatar that you normally use, and then it'll throw you into this when you either respawn or move on to another session, which is what I've done now because I want really good FPS, so it looks good on stream. Not to mention that these hands, they look so sexy, man. Like, they look good.
The stock one is incredibly efficient, but if you're not gotten into Neos yet, you will certainly find whenever people start talking about bringing out efficient avatars, any number of rather silly-looking basic avatars that people tend to roll around with just when they're trying to maximize those FPS, that FPS whenever you're in a big populated world. A number of times I've seen people host movie nights, and when they're going to bring in 15 plus people to watch something, they really want to make sure things stay smooth, and they'll ask for people to click over to avatars like this just to get that done. And it works quite well.
Like in GDC, when everyone was asked to please go into their like either super basic avatars, or they had like this little area which you can go to, put a photo there, and that becomes your avatar. And then Heaven just put another comment. Did Frooks think of adding restrictions to the world, like max polygon of avatars, no light, logics, etc.? Maybe the best way to save FPS and keep the world stable. I'm not sure that exists. Pretty sure it can be implemented.
At present, to my understanding, no. Those kinds of restrictions might show up in the future, but as it currently stands, it seems either something to be planned for in the future, or they're just anticipating people running worlds, because of course individuals run worlds most of the time here to just moderate on their own. As people come in, you can either ask them to bring a more efficient avatar in, or just politely but firmly ask them to leave. That kind of situation.
100%. I mean, what you could do if you really wanted to like regulate who is coming into the world, you could restrict their avatar, so like they won't spawn in their avatar if you know that person is someone who has a heavy avatar. So yeah, like you could make them so that when they spawn in your world, they spawn in the stock standard Neos avatar. So yeah, and then I'm pretty sure if they're one of the people who are very fussy in being in their avatar, and if they are a laggy boy, they'll end up leaving. So.
Yeah, the attitude seems to be more giving whoever's running the world the proper moderation and admin powers to sort of police their own, rather than implementing settings where people can't do things.
For sure. Yeah.
Though the future might change. We will have to see what comes down the line, of course, as further permission systems are built out.
Yeah. I like it when things are governed a lot by the host, so that they can make the rules, what happens in their session, and that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, there are T's and C's, like you can't do certain things in public sessions, which is a given, but yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay, next world. Okay, Minimo Cinema. Yes, I want to go check that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, also see there. I think everything's still loading. Okay, anyway. Have you loaded?
Yes.
Okay. Heaven stated two things. This is on with the regulation of people. Okay. I won't remove it because otherwise I'm going to lose it. But, okay. Because I remember in VR chat, people coming into a world and use a gesture crashing the world. And like that's quite common in VR chat when people purposely go into worlds and abuse it to major extent. Now, I think later on when Neos gets way more popular, I think that's definitely something that's going to be need to be implementing, because this is actually something that I asked a little while ago about. Is there a way to really stop griefing people coming into the world and just wrecking it? And I can't remember the answer, but there are a few things that people can do, such as like setting people in spectator when they first come in, and then if they're a trusted person, you can add them as like a guest and like a moderator or whatever.
The lower permission settings we have right now will already stop people from spawning things in, using dev tooltips, using logics tooltips, editing the world really in any way. Those settings and that degree of control is already present inside of the game. I wouldn't want to make any comments about what systems they're going to hope to implement in the future. I just don't know the answer. I'd be pulling answers out of my butt. But I do know they're thinking about further developing that system with future updates. In terms of a timeline, again, I'd recommend heading into the Discord we have for Neos and throwing those questions into the questions channel. The team's very responsive. Even if they don't have anything hard and fast, they'll probably be able to give you a ballpark.
Yeah, for sure. And then second thing he said was, and thinking about the avatar protection too for not stealing them. Yes, there is avatar protection. And it's so far is, I believe, okay, don't quote me on this, I believe it is like one of the safest protection methods on avatars in a metaverse, but don't quote me on that.
I do know it's not perfect, but pretty solid right now, and a fleshing out of the ID content protection system is on the menu for what's coming either directly after the UI update being worked on right now or immediately after whatever comes next. It's soon to see advancements. Quite solid right now, soon to get better. That's certainly one of the topics you can find again if you wander into the Neos Discord and bug the dev team directly. They'd be happy to talk about at least the plans moving forward.
For sure. Yeah, because major thing when I was getting my new avatar was that I wanted to make sure it was protected. And one of the people that I know were like heavily invested in breaking it purposely for getting it fixed was Lewis. Lewis put a lot of time and effort. I don't really know of anyone else, but I know that Lewis, from chatting to him, he personally went and tried to break it as hard as possible to ensure that those things were patched out, and he pretty much got everything that he could find, which wasn't too much as well. So yeah, I mean, like as the game goes on, as the days pass, if someone finds anything, the community is like a really, really good community. They're honest people, so they will more than likely go out and tell the devs. And when they do, when the devs are told, it's usually patched really, really quickly after that.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, sweet, man.
Of course, these are...
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I apologize. Tilly Cuffs, welcome, man, and thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. We're just checking out the NeosCast at the moment. For sure, dude. Like, you want to make sure that if you're going to put your avatar in a world, because especially if you're paying money for your avatars aren't cheap, especially if you're getting it from a really, really good creator. I mean, my avatar...
I believe it's... I'm sorry,
yeah,
continue.
my avatar cost in the hundreds of dollars, and it's not something I want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to be able to just nag and like snag out of a game, because that's not cool. But sorry, you're saying?
One of the things that's driving this most is the idea that Neos wants to build a marketplace in the future, of course. Give people the ability to make money in Neos by building out new assets and selling them to other players using their cryptocurrency. Before that gets in place, to any real solid degree, they have plans, of course, to flesh out dramatically the permission system and content protection, because that would need to be rock solid before you could use this as a platform for selling things in any reasonable capacity.
Exactly.
If we're not, I couldn't speak with authority to say how strong Neos is compared to other products in terms of protecting assets, though I've heard good things to my limited understanding of it. I anticipate it will become one of the best, just because it's necessary for it to move forward.
Exactly. And also Neos hopes with that whole selling of content, like people creating content and selling it with Neos, Neos also wants to integrate, Neos wants to have Sketchfab integration, so that you can put something on Sketchfab and you could come into Neos and be like, okay, cool, I want that, purchase, and now you have it in game. That's what they want.
Yes.
Okay, 2 comments. One from... I believe I'm saying it correctly. Telecuffs. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I had no idea this game even existed, and I thought I tried them all. Dude, you need to try this game. It is super extensive. You can do anything. If there was a Gary's Mod VR, this is it. This is Gary's Mod VR, basically. Like,
bastard love child of Gary's Mod and VR chat gave us Neos.
Exactly.
It's an interesting product I'd recommend. Though right now you'll find yourself in a very unique situation of they're actually rebuilding the UI this very week. So if you come in, you might learn everything about this fairly complex program designed for developing things inside VR, and then have it all change a few days
Literally,
later. So do take that warning. It might be very confusing over the next week, but by all means I'd recommend coming in. It's free. Check it out. You don't lose anything.
Exactly, man. Okay, 2 more comments, like one new one. Okay, by Heaven. Long time ago, I used to sell stuff in Second Life, and not sure how the full system will be in Neos. I'm not too sure 100% either, but I assume it's going to have something to do with the integration within Sketchfab. So you're going to be able to like use it, like intertwine it, basically. Yeah.
Again, we're not devs. We don't have behind-scenes information by any stretch of imagination. These are just things coming down through the grapevine in the community. They're looking towards building up a marketplace, and since they're all very much aware of Second Life and at least played in it to some degree, I imagine inspiration's being drawn from there, and improvements with regards to how you can make Second Life systems better are certainly being thought about. But
For sure.
I couldn't speak to the specifics.
Yeah, like
We
just
have
like
a lovely Discord though. Visit it.
yeah. If you want to go join the Discord, please do. I will drop a link before I close the stream. So if you're interested in that, and if you want to check that out, please description of the video, because this is going to be on the NeosCast YouTube, which I'm going to be creating right after this. So if you want to go check that out as well, I'll be putting links later. And then second comment was like if it's equipment, clothing, etc. for avatars, how do they fit with the avatar? Match the skeleton of the avatar as well. And okay, Evan, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure how like clued up you are within the inside of like Neos, but you can edit a lot of the clothing in Neos to fit your avatar. So one of the cool tools is actually this thing. Yeah, I'll pop something out. Could you just spawn a random item for me quick? And then I will.
I was thinking of that very thing. Here's a hat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I
So.
already have it. Has effortless equipable on it.
Okay. So yeah, this is one of the things that you can use. Okay, I'm gonna just throw. Say, goodness, you want a gun for some reason, to no one knows why. Cough. And you want this on your. Let's put. Okay, I don't have a hip, and you don't have a hip either. So I'm gonna put it on your head.
We're making a gun hat because you want a gun hat, and sometimes.
Exactly. Okay. So now, oh, I got a lag. Oh no! I hope the game didn't just crash. Okay.
Oh,
No,
I
they,
hear you, Bob. So you're still here.
Okay, there you go. So now you want this gun on his head, and I go bloop, and it's not stuck on your head.
It's
not stuck in your head.
Shaped.
Yeah, I
Did
don't
you
actually.
get, Oh, no, because it's a gun, of course. It's already applied to my hand.
No, I don't know.
You have
Okay,
to pick an object that can't be applied to the hand, just like that.
yeah,
And then
okay.
apply
So,
additional logics to it.
oh no!
What have
Okay,
you
anyway,
done?
it's
Well,
applied
now
to me.
it's functioning
There you go. Like
as a
that
hat.
proved my point. Like it's stuck on me now. Yeah, there we go.
Here, hold still, Bob. Hold still, Bob. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lovely hat. A hat
So
unlike
third
any you've
person,
seen
I can
before.
just zoom in there a little bit for you. So there you go. You can see now. I have a dragon plushie on my head. So I mean,
Just so
like,
the
dude,
audience realizes,
anything.
this gun failing wasn't a glitch or Neos breaking. It had other logics applied to it so that it would stick to your hand as a gun does, so that people can use it like a gun. Oh, God,
Yeah,
is it loud?
it's super loud and fucking bright.
In-game scripting has to be handled. When you double it up, sometimes that's going to take priority, obviously.
Exactly. And like this gun, everything on it right now, if you're unaware, has been programmed in Neos. So the shooty thing that comes out the end, so let me use it quick, like whack, like that. It's fucking bright. I'm pretty sure this is called the Sun Gun. Like this is Sun Gun Mark II from Destiny. But everything in here was programmed in Neos. So the ability to grab this, to move it around in your hand, to like adjust it so you could shoot it properly. Everything done in Neos. The only thing that hasn't been done in Neos is the model itself. This has been done in Blender. Although, while saying that, you could theoretically make this out of primitives in Neos.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is essentially shapes that you make out of the shaping tool, which is stupidly easy to use. Just like you click and you make the shape. And then you can adjust that, the height, width, dimensions, all of that in Neos. And you could theoretically just like make this within Neos by putting those all together, baking it, and then just making it a gun. So
Yes, people certainly seem to have a fondness to using programs like Blender for the basic modeling beforehand, but then taking that object, bringing it into Neos, and making it come to life with the in-game logics, giving it actual functionality.
exactly, like it's easy. So well, I say it's easy, but I don't know how.
We're walking examples of it. This skull was obviously just a model pulled from a university. That's just open source that you can grab. Same with the spine, but the way that it flows like this is just in-game logics. The dynamic bone system Fruks put in last summer. All of that functionality isn't part of Blender or Unity or something else. That's just Neos doing what Neos does.
Yeah.
I can also puppet it because I'm a silly person. That sort of
I
stuff.
I saw the mouth opening. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get vaporized. They don't know. I mean, yeah.
The same system.
Use your laser. Let me like tell them like. So if I walk into that, I'm dead. So, like now you know what I mean.
This is a silly place. Not everything we put in our avatars is necessarily well justified.
100%. It's like the coffee, like plushie on my head. So, yeah.
Yes.
Can it match multiple bones? Like, if it's pants? Yes.
What's he mean? Multiple buttons?
Multiple bones. Like if it's pants. So, like, if you put pants on your model, I believe you'd have to do that in in Blender or something on your model. I don't think you can get them to. Meaning like, okay, say I have legs now in VR, and I want the clothes that I take from in game and just plump it onto my avatar. You can't do that. You can put items on your avatar, but I don't think you can do that. But correct me if I'm
You
wrong.
have to have a very hell of a time setting up, like, you can't do weight painting inside of Neos, to my understanding. If you're going to take, obviously, pretty basic objects like hats, this didn't come with this skull, this wasn't put together in Blender. This is an object in Blender, and an object in Blender, and you've just put them together in Neos. But since pants need to shape and move as your legs move, you need to do weight painting, a bunch of other things that are or more complex, more readily handled by a program like Blender. If Neos can tackle it, it's above my pay grade to do so.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next question from Heaven. I don't think it's a question. But not looking for a gun part. I'm scared of what it can shoot if you move too much. What do you mean?
Could you rephrase?
Yeah, I'm gonna re-say it. But not looking for a gun pants. I'm scared of what it can shoot if you move too much. I'm not entirely certain what he means there. I don't know. Maybe he means like putting the gun on your pants? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, anyway. I think that pretty much wraps up everything in the thing. We're saying that because of the gun hat. Oh, I think you... Oh, gun hat. So this. Okay. I think he was meaning like... Okay, yeah, okay.
Afraid of it shooting on the fly? A joke?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was a joke. Oh my god. We're thinking of this too damn seriously, man.
What is this deeply complex philosophical question? We have to... What if it shoots if you didn't... Yeah, okay.
We get it now. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please ask now, because otherwise we're going to be ending the stream now. Thank you, Git, for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you, Hayden, as well.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Thank you. And
Where am I
thank you.
looking? There?
Thank you. Yeah, there. Like, actually towards me. The camera's on me. So I'm just
people.
I'm
Come
looking
join
at the
us in
chat. So I'll put the
Neos.
chat by you.
Again, people, Neos is free. It's a very interesting program that's taking things you might be familiar with, like VR chat, and cramming tons of additional functionality into it. Come give it a wing. You can't lose anything.
Any hype for clothes physics? Question.
Well, that's cut two ways. I've seen people do very interesting things with dynamic bonds. Again, that's stuff that makes my spine wobble all over the place. And if you could think of a way to simplistically add that kind of physics to a garment, you can in-game. But it's going to be tied to being able to pull that off with the dynamic bone system. I don't think you could pull it off with a full overcoat. That would be hard just because it fully encapsulates a person and would need to bend in all sorts of different ways as motions applied to it. But simple physics operations can already be accomplished with the current in-game systems. Will they be fleshed out further when the physics system inevitably arrives later this year? Probably. But again, can't make big comments on it. We're not devs. Head into the Discord, quiz them. They're one of those refreshingly, incredibly passionate teams that will happily respond to pretty much any query you put to them.
Exactly. Neos community is a really nice and kind community. It's not like any toxic community. So please go there, ask whatever questions you want to. No one's gonna bite you or bite your head off, whatever. So please, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll make sure I put a link in there in the chat before I close the stream. But yeah, also in the description, putting it out there. And yeah, thank you, Git, and thank you, Heaven, for being here the whole time and asking so many questions. I really do appreciate it, man. And thank you for everyone else who's watching at the moment. And thank you for everyone who has watched it and watching the video. So thank you. Much love. Yeah.
Till next time.
Yeah. Till next time on the NeosCast. Cheers, man. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and it is ended.